I believe the Minnesota Vikings have a history of not caring about their star wide receivers. On this segment of the Sit Down with Malik Wright, presented by First Star Logistics, we'll dive into that a little bit. Dating back to when they traded Randy Moss, I remember him being quoted as saying, I believe I got traded out of Minnesota because I cared about the game of football too much. And that's a guy that we thought we would see here for quite some time. Didn't happen, right? He was traded out of Minnesota. Then you look at Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs was traded out of Minnesota. Then you look at Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen was just thrown by the wayside after he gave the Minnesota Vikings multiple productive seasons. And now it brings me to the Justin Jefferson situation. They draft Jordan Addison last year. And unfortunately, Justin Jefferson deals with some injuries. But now they're in a situation where the Minnesota Vikings have to pay him. And now they're talking about why they are non-committal to a guy like Justin Jefferson. And it's because, the structure of the contract. Justin Jefferson is arguably the best wide receiver in football. What needs to be said? I believe at this point, though, in my heart, the Minnesota Vikings are non-committal to the wide receiver position. I believe I think their philosophy is they think that they can draft guys or pick guys up and get the same type of production. And that, don't just take my word for it. Just look at their track history. Look at their track record when it comes to wide receivers that have come through Minnesota. And I feel for Justin Jefferson, and I think he is right to take the stance that he wants to get paid. He deserves to get paid. And then for me, if I was Justin Jefferson, I either ask for a long-term contract or ask for a trade out of there. For the team to take the stance for a guy that has been nothing but productive when he's had subpar quarterback play, average quarterback play, man, I think that's a slap in his face, and I think that's a slap in his potential too. Because I think Justin Jefferson he potentially had a better quarterback, so on and so forth. I think he could really do some damage on the record books in the NFL. I think that guy is so talented, and it's a shame that the Minnesota Vikings, I feel like maybe they don't see that. Or maybe they do see that. Maybe they just value him at what they value him at, structure-wise, from a contract standpoint. So it puts him in a situation, but here's what I'll say, Justin. You're not the only person. You're not the first person who's been in the situation with the Minnesota Vikings. So Jordan Addison, take note. Take note, because when your contract comes up, will this team see you in the same light or hold you in the same regard that they hold Justin Jefferson or receivers in their past? Because it seems like Minnesota is much more like, hey, let's get as much as we can out of these guys. And I still think they can get a lot more out of Justin Jefferson. And then rather than pay them, let's move on. And to me, that's a crappy way to be. That's a crappy way to be. So just as well as these organizations look out for themselves, you as the player have to look out for yourself. Minnesota Viking fans, this is not about you. This is more so about the organization and how they treat their players. Because understand something, players take note. Players take note and players talk. I think the Minnesota Vikings should give in and just sign Justin Jefferson long term, because I think he is that much of a transcending type of talent. But history says the Minnesota Vikings might not cave, and they might move on from Justin Jefferson. Let us know down in the comment section what you think. Do you think the Minnesota Vikings are going to re-sign Justin Jefferson, or do you think they're going to make the grave mistake of letting that guy go, whether it be via trade or free agency, which he's set to hit next year? Let me know down in the comment section. If you like my video content like this, give this video a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss when we go live or upload content from the First Star Logistics studio.